Hello all, welcome to CR Spiritual Classes. In this video, we are going to learn about what is called as winding up and explain the types of winding up. What is called as winding up? See, basically if we take up the English lexical meaning, winding up in the sense what? To end up with any of the activity. If we take up in case of company also, as company is a legal person, in the sense what? It is created by law, it has to come to an end through a legal process, right? And that is called as what? Liquidation. Are you getting me, all of you? Yes? Let us see once. As a company is a legal person, that is, a company is what? It's created by law and it can be put to an end only through a legal process. That is called as what? Liquidation. Are you getting me? Hence, winding up is the last stage in the life of the company. Is it clear, all of you? Yes. Let us look into the meaning now. Winding up is a legal process of putting an what? End to the life of the company. Yes. Next one, we are looking for the definitions now. What is called as winding up? Again, process in the sense what? Step by step the company will be getting winded up. Are you getting me, all of you? Step by step the company will be getting winded up. Winding up is a process whereby the life of the company is ended and its property is administered for the benefit of its creditors and members. See, if we take up the company, of course now a company is getting formed, right? And the company, for whose purpose or for whose benefit the company will be getting administrated, and the property will be getting created, in the sense what? Wealth will be getting created for whose purpose, whose interest, or for whose benefit? Of course for the members and creditors benefit. And once a company is starting up this winding up process, that will be coming to an end. And how the company will be coming to an end, ma'am? See, it's a very basic simple example, right? For example, if an individual wants to close his business, right? And at the time of closing his business, first thing what he will be doing, he will be paying all of the debts which he has to pay to his creditors. Exactly in the same manner, what happens here? In the company also, a person who will be appointed to take care of this winding up process, and he is called as what? Liquidator. Exactly, liquidator, what he will be doing? He will be calculating what are the assets the company is having and what are the liabilities the company is having. In the order of preference, he will be paying off to the liabilities. Are you getting me? In the sense what? In the order, he will be paying off the debts to the creditors, and after that the company will be getting winded up. If anything balance is left out, at last the shareholders will be getting paid. Is it clear, all of you? Yes. So an administrator called the liquidator is appointed and he takes control of the company, collect its assets and pay its debts, and finally distributes the surplus amongst its members in accordance with their rights. Is it clear, all of you? Yes. So what is called as winding up? It is nothing but what? It is the legal process of putting an end to the life of the company. Are you getting me, all of you? Yes. Next one, let us see the modes of winding up. See, we are having two types of winding up. One is compulsory winding up by the tribunal, and other one is what? This one I am saying as per the Companies Act 2013 provision. Okay, I am not referring to 1956, because if we take up the 1956, we are having another more types of winding up also. Whatever I am teaching as per Companies Act 2013. So next one is what? Voluntary winding up initiated by the resolution of the company in the general meeting. Again, this voluntary winding up, it is divided into what? Two: members voluntary winding up and creditors voluntary winding up. In this video, we are going to learn about what is called as compulsory winding up. First one, compulsory winding up by the tribunal. When a company is wounded up by an order of the tribunal, it is referred as what? Compulsory winding up of a company or winding up by the tribunal. First of all, we have to know what is called as a tribunal. Tribunal means what? A body established to settle certain types of disputes. See, if we take up the government of India, in order to resolve, rather than going and approaching the court, it's better we'll establish a certain body which will be resolving the issues relating to the particular what? Particular trade or to the particular department. For example, if we take up whatever the issues which has been relating to the company, it will be solved by whom? Company law tribunal. Are you getting me, all of you? For example, whatever the disputes relating to the income tax, it will be solved by whom? Income tax tribunal. Are you getting me? That's why it's a body established to settle certain types of disputes, right? So the tribunal will make an order for winding up upon an application by the petition of any of the person enlisted in section 272. So as per the compulsory winding up, see, the tribunal is saying that we have a list of persons and those persons have been listed in what, section 272 of the Companies Act 2013. And if those petitioners are filing for the compulsory winding up, the tribunal, by looking into the basic investigation, or the tribunal will be saying that what, see, on these grounds, okay, on compulsory grounds you want to wind up the company, let us look into it. After looking into the interest of the creditors as well as the shareholders as well as the general public, then the company will be getting wounded up by passing the what, order by the tribunal. Is it clear, all of you? Yes. Let us see once. What are the various ways, or under what circumstances the company can go for compulsory winding up? This is very important question. Put as many stars as you can. Okay. Section 271 lays that on the following grounds where a company may be wounded up by the tribunal. First one is what? If a company is passing a special resolution. And second situation is what? If the company is unable to pay the debts. And third is what? Just and equitable. And fourth is what? Default in filing profit and loss and balance sheet or annual return. And next is what? Acted against the sovereignty and integrity of India. And last is what? Sikh Industrial Company. We'll be looking into this one by one now. First one, special resolution of the company. If a company has by a special resolution resolved that it may be wounded up by the tribunal may pass a winding up orders. For example, the members are joining together, okay, and they want to go for a special resolution. Are you getting me, all of you? Or if the company wants to pass a special resolution for this compulsory winding up, and once they pass a special resolution, they will be filing that copy with the tribunal, right? And after that, the tribunal will be what? Going for passing a winding up order. However, the tribunal not only considers the interest of the company but also the interest of the public before making this what? Winding up order. Is it clear, all of you? Yes or no? Yes. Next one, we are going for the second point. Inability to pay the debts. The tribunal may order the winding up of the company if it is unable to pay the debts. If the company is unable to pay their debts, then the tribunal will be going for what? Ordering up for what? Winding up. According to section 271 of that, a company shall be deemed to be unable to pay the debts in the following cases. See, we can assume that in the following cases, the company is unable to pay the debts. Okay, under that circumstances, what happens here? The creditors will be filing what? You're winding up petition in the tribunal that the company is unable to pay the debts. So, you have to make the company to get winded up. Are you getting me, all of you? In that first one is what? Statutory notice. If a creditor to whom the company owes a sum of 1 lakh rupee or more has served on a company, you notice at where? The register office for payment, and the company has for 3 weeks, that is within 21 days, neglected to pay or otherwise satisfy him to provide adequate security or restructure or compound the debt to the reasonable satisfaction of the creditor. See, for example, a creditor, okay, he has to receive 1 lakh rupee or more from the company. And what he has done, he has served a notice to the head office of the company. This registered office in the sense what? Head office of the company. And after receiving the notice from the head office, he did not even get even a single reply also. That is within how many days? 21 days, 3 weeks. Okay, either regarding that they were unable to pay, okay, or else like they were not able to pay this much, they will be able to pay, let me assume that 50,000 now, and the balance will be like paying you in installments and will be giving you the interest, so on, so like this. So he did not even get even a single reply also. At that time, what happens? He will be going to the tribunal and he will be going for like filing a petition for the winding up. Is it clear, all of you? Second situation, unsatisfied decreed debt. Decree means what? A court order. Okay. If any execution or any other process issued on a decree or any of order of any court or tribunal in favor of a creditor of the company is returned unsatisfied in whole or in part, then the petitioner can seek winding up of the company. See, for example, we have a creditor Mr. B. Okay, we have a creditor Mr. B, and he is going and filing a suit against the company that he has to receive 10 lakh rupee from the company. So the court is passing an order that the company has to pay him 10 lakh rupee. Fine. And the creditor is coming and showing the same court order that you have to pay me 10 lakh rupee because I have taken the court order. The company is failing to pay. At that time, of course, what happens here? The creditor can seek for winding up of the company. Are you getting me, all of you? Is it clear, all of you? Next one. Commercial insolvency. Under this clause, even though the company is assets exceed its liabilities, but it is unable to meet its current demands. So as you all know, no, of course, no, in order to run the company, of course, it needs some liquid cash or it needs some liquid assets, which is called as what current assets, right? If the company is unable to meet its current liabilities, then it is commercially insolvent and liable to be wounded up. Ma'am, the company is having assets, ma'am. How come the company can go for wounding up? We'll look into this example. For example, the liabilities of the company is amounted to what? 1 crore 41 lakhs. Okay. But the assets were how much now? 60 lakhs. Do you think that the company is able to like pay the debts in full? See, liabilities crores, whereas assets is amounting in what? Lakhs only. It was held on a petition for winding up by debenture holder that the company was not only commercially insolvent but hopelessly insolvent, and that an order for winding up was made. Are you getting me, all of you? Yes or no? Next one. So we have done with the second point. Now we are going for what? Third point, just and equitable. Remember what is called just and equitable? Morally, which is right and fair. Okay, whenever the company is doing any of the action or taking up any of the activity, they have to make sure that whatever the activities they are taking, it is morally correct or it is morally fair. And it should not be like, impartial. Impartial in the sense what? Favoring to a particular class. Is it clear, all of you? The another ground on which the tribunal can order the winding up of a company is when the tribunal is of the opinion that it is just and equitable that the company should be wound up. Is it clear, all of you? Next one. While passing such an order, tribunal generally considers the interests of the company, the creditors, employees, shareholders and the society. See, just like that, the tribunal will not be passing the order for winding up. Of course, no, before, because see, the company's life is what? Coming to an end. When it is coming to an end, the tribunal has to consider the interest of whom? The benefit of whom? The company, the creditors, employees, shareholders and the society. See, let us see in what are the situations or scenarios, okay, the company can go for compulsory winding up by the tribunal. Under that first one, following are instances where the tribunal have dissolved the companies under the just and equitable clause. In the sense what? The company acted, some situations what? Impartial, or else they were against what? Morality. Okay, they have been doing something injustly. Are you getting me, all of you? Yes. Under that first one, loss of substratum. Substratum means what? That is for which purpose or for on what foundation the company is been getting established. They lost that itself. It is just and equitable to wind up a company where a company's main object or the substratum is what? Gone. Let us see. See, ma'am, in what are the situations a company will be called up, that is, they are not following as per their objectives or they are not following their objectives. First one is what? Subject matter of the company is gone. In the sense what? For which purpose the company is being getting established. For that purpose only what? See, they are not, very simple sense, they are not even following the object clause of the what? Memorandum of association. Right? Next one, the object for which the company was incorporated has substantially failed, or it is impossible to carry on the business of the company except at a loss. The company is going on continuously getting losses. Right? Next one, the existing and possible assets are insufficient to meet the existing liabilities of the company. Of course, now this point we have already discussed in the previous second point. Is it clear, all of you? Let us understand this better by looking into this example. A company was formed for the purpose of manufacturing what? Coffee from dates. You know dates, of course, now we eat, right? Of course. Under a patent to which was to be granted by the government of Germany. The German patent was never granted. On a petition of a shareholder, it was held that the substratum of the company has failed and is impossible to carry on the objects for which it was formed, and therefore it was an equitable that the company should be getting winded up. See, a company has applied, okay, to get a German patent for manufacturing coffee from the dates. What happened was they were refused. The patent was not granted to them. What happens here? One of the shareholder, they went to the tribunal and they filed a case against the company. See what is mentioned in the object clause of the company? That is, they want to what? Manufacture coffee by using the dates. Are you getting me? But for that, they should need some what? A patent, a license from the German. Okay, but they did not get it. So the object clause of the memorandum, it's what? Absolutely failed. Okay, so the court ordered for winding up. Court means what? The tribunal order for compulsory winding up. Are you getting me, all of you? Yes? Because it's covered in what? Just and equitable grounds. Next one, deadlock in the management. What is called deadlock? When do you call it a deadlock? In the sense what? For example, like the management is like this, okay? So my hands are like this. It's called as what? If you keep up like this, it's called as what? Fist, a closed fist, okay? And if I keep it like this, do you think that will you be able to take my pen from my hand? No, no, it's not there. The same manner, the company is also unable to take the decision. It is called as what? Deadlock in the management. When there is a deadlock in the management of a company, it is a proper case for winding up under the just and equitable clause. See, this side also the company will not be able to go, and that side also the company will not be able to go. Where the members will go, where the other creditors will go. Are you getting me? Where the shareholders will go. Of course, for example, X and Y, who traded separately as cigarette manufacturers, agreed to amalgamate their business and they formed a private company. See, X and Y, they are the individual dealers, okay? And they are dealing in the manufacturing of the cigarettes. What happens here? They want to join together. They want to amalgamate their business and they want to form a private company. Okay, and they formed also. They were the shareholders and they were the only directors of the company. If you take up here, they are the only shareholders and they are the directors of the company. They had equal voting right. A dispute arose which was submitted to the arbitration, but none of them refused to accept the award. Both then became so adverse that neither of them would be speaking to the other except through the secretary. There was a complete deadlock, and as such, the tribunal ordered for the winding up of the company, although the business was flourishing. See, as we have discussed, X and Y, now they have together they started a cigarette business, okay, and they formed as a private limited company. What happened was they had a difference of opinion, okay. They went for the arbitration. Arbitration in the sense of settlement, okay. And the arbitration committee, they have told some of the resolution to follow, in the sense what decision to follow, but like they were not agreeing with each other. See, there is no, can I say, did we learn this before? Consensus ad idem. See, Mr. X is saying right, Mr. Y is saying what, left. So is there any consensus ad idem? Is there any identity of minds? No, there is no identity of minds because the ego conquered them. Okay. So what happens here, if they both want to talk, they are talking through a common means, that is through their secretary only. And this is exactly called as what? Deadlock in the management. Do you think that they will be able to take up the decisions? No, they will not be able to take up the decisions. So at that time, there is exactly deadlock in the management and the tribunal has ordered for what? Winding up. Is it clear, all of you? Yes, even though business is what? Flourishing in the sense what? Even though the business is profitable. Are you getting me, all of you? Yes. Next one. Oppression of minority. What is called oppression? What's called oppression? In the sense what? Someone is trying to what is it? Dominate you. Right? Where the majority of shareholders have adopted an aggressive or oppression in the sense what? Domineering. Domineering in the sense what? It is like lynching attitude. Whatever I'm saying, that should be the final. Right? Policy towards a minority, it is a sufficient ground for winding up of the company under this clause. Right? Can you see this here? Like we have a majority here, we have major shareholders here. What is it? They are trying to lynch or they are trying to take care of the control of the whom? Minor shareholders. And the minority shareholders, they don't have any opportunity to speak their vocal about their rights also. At the time, this is called as what? Oppression of minority. Is it clear, all of you? Let us look into this example. If a company directors make the wrong use of their powers and they harm the interest of the minority stakeholders, stakeholder means what? Shareholders, where the directors of a company were able to operate your dominating influence on the management of the company, and the managing director was able to outvote the minority of the shareholders and retain the profits of the business between the members of the family. And there were several complaints that the shareholders did not receive a copy of the balance sheet, nor was auditor's report read at the general meeting. Dividends were not regularly paid and the rates were diminishing. That constituted the sufficient ground for winding up. See, a company board of directors are there, okay, and whatever the the company is having the profits, what they are doing, they are retaining among themselves only, among their family members. And what happens here, they are not even reading their reports also, auditors reports also in the general meeting. And whatever they declare dividend also, they are not ready to pay to the shareholders, right? To the what? Minority shareholders. So at that time, this is called as what? Exactly oppression of minority. Are you getting me? Yes. Next one. If the company is formed for the fraudulent purpose, in the sense what if the company wants to cheat the public, okay, and they're running that business for illegal purposes, so the company will be automatically what winded up, right? Where the company was formed and came into existence by fraud or for illegal purposes, then it is just an equitable to wind up a company. Of course, no, if they are doing illegal business, of course, it's called as what? Immorality. It is against what? The civil conduct as well as the moral duty of the what? Country. Are you getting me, all of you? Yes? Next one, public interest. If the public demands for the winding up of a company, the tribunal shall order for the winding up. See, this all happens, the recent related cases also. For example, Coca-Cola company, they want to have their plant. Okay, of course, the local villages, okay, as well as the people those who are being near to the places, they were all coming and demanding in the public, right? That is, we don't want the Coca-Cola company to be here, because once they start the company, what happens is they'll be exploiting the natural resources like this. Whenever many of the MNC companies are coming and starting their business over there, of course the local people will be protesting for the establishment, even though they are creating employment opportunities also. In such a case, what happens here, see, we have a tribunal which is called as what? Green Tribunal. At the time, they only will be taking the decision whether to retain the company or not, or to what? Close down their operations. Are you getting me, all of you? Yes. Next one, because this happened with Sterlite case here, a famous case which happened with Sterlite company, maybe 3 to 4 years before at Tamil Nadu. People were shot dead also. Yes. Next one, failure to pay dividend. If the tribunal shall order for the winding up, the company fails to meet the expectations of the members to receive the dividend. Is it clear, all of you? Yes. Shall we go for the next one? If the company is a bubble company in the sense what? Just for namesake the company is there. Of course, they're not even doing any business. If a company is considered as a bubble company, if it has no business assets or proper foundation for business, generally this sort of company is formed to loot the public money. For example, if you take up here today, that company will be there. Okay, they will be giving some offers. For example, if you are giving us 10,000, especially it is related to chit fund companies. If you are giving us 10,000 rupees, we'll give you every month. If you are depositing 10,000 rupees, after 12 months, we'll give you so and so interest on it. So those companies, what they'll do nicely, they'll be what? Extracting the money. They'll be looting the money from the public. And after 1 year, once a maturity time comes here, what happens here? A big question mark will be coming. Okay, because they'll extract the money, they'll loot the money, they'll be running out of the state, or they'll be running out of the country also. Are you getting me? In such case, it is against what? Just and equitable to wind up the company. For example, if one of the member of the company, if they are filing a case against the company, suit against the company that what? It's a bubble company, they're cheating us. So at the time, the tribunal will go for winding up. Is it clear, all of you? Yes or no? Next one, losses. If the company is being getting a continuous losses, and there are no chances for improvisation. Okay, there is no room for a financial growth. At that time, what happens here? Of course, the tribunal will go for compulsory winding up. The company should be wound up if there is an impossibility to run the business. Okay, if there is an impossibility to run the business except at a loss. Can you see this here? It's getting continuously losses. So the company will go for what? Of course, the tribunal will go for what? Compulsory winding. Next one is main point, fourth point. Non-filing of financial statements or annual returns with the registrar. If a company has made a default in filing with the registrar its balance sheet and profit and loss account or its annual return for the 5 consecutive years, of course, the tribunal will go for what? Finding up. Are you getting me, all of you? Next one. If a company acts against the sovereignty and integrity of India, it is more or less equal to just an equitable case. If a company has acted against the interest of the sovereignty and integrity of India, the security of the state, friendly relationship with the foreign states, public order or decency or morality. For example, if a company has been indulging in training of terrorism activity. See, outside if you take up here, they have been involving in, let me assume, the production and selling of biscuits, whereas indirectly they are funding the terrorist of that is especially international terrorist. At the time, what happens here? It is against the sovereignty and integrity of India. Provided the tribunal shall make an order for winding up of a company on application made by the central government or by a state government. See, central government and state government itself is saying that if the company has been acting against the sovereignty and integrity of India. Okay, and once if the company is functioning it will be harming our country welfare as well as other country welfare also. At that time, the central government and state government, okay, or else any one of the government, they will be filing a petition with the tribunal that the company should be getting rounded up. Next one, Sick company in the sense what? Loss making company. If a tribunal is of the opinion that the company should be wound up under chapter, that is, where a sick industrial company is not likely to become viable in the future, and that is just an equitable that the company should be getting wounded up. See, for the company, like n number of chances has been given. Okay, even though after refinancing also, even though after giving providing financial help from the government also, if the company is not picking up, if the company is not flourishing, at the time what happens here? Like the company is declared as what? Sick unit. Fine. So if the tribunal is of opinion that it has been declared as a sick unit, the company should be getting winded up. At the time, the tribunal will make an order for what? Of course, that is just an equitable that the company should be getting wounded up. Is it very clear, all of you? Yes or no? Okay. So with this, we have come to the end of this video. And if you take up, ma'am, what is very, very important question? Of course, this question itself is very, very important. What is called as winding up? Very, very important. Okay. And explain the modes of winding up. Of course, in that we are having two types of winding up modes. One is compulsory winding up and voluntary winding up. Ma'am, among this, which is most important, of course, compulsory winding up is most important. It will be asked as a direct theory question. Is it clear, all of you? Of course. Like if you have any doubts, just let me know. Fine. Okay. Thank you so much for watching my video. Good day, all of you.